So we recently got to go to the Vienna HighEnd audio show, and one of the headphones there was the DCA Aeon Core, which is a new closed-back planar magnetic headphone from Dan Clark that's supposed to come in around $900. And this is a particularly interesting headphone, both because of how it sounds and because of some of the theory behind it. So today I'm going to give my impressions of that. Just in general, though, I'll say up front, it's one of my favorite sounding DCA headphones. I like it kind of like a counterpart to the E3, and I like it better than the DCA Aeon Noir X closed. So if you haven't been paying attention to what DCA have been doing, many of their headphones, their closed-back headphones in particular, seem to be going after the Harman target, or at least the concept of the Harman target. But one thing that people might not be aware of is that the Harman target was developed on an older measurement rig system. It was developed on an older ear simulator and a different pinna from the commercially available industry standard equipment that many of us reviewers are using today. And at the time, people didn't realize the degree to which this impacts the behavior of the headphone. But it turns out that it does, and so effectively people are measuring on modern equipment, the Gross KB5000 ear, and they're showing it relative to a target that was developed on a totally different ear. Now, obviously the Harman target is meant to just be a guideline, but people will often buy headphones that are supposedly tuned to the Harman target, on modern industry standard equipment, not realizing that there are differences between that and how the target was actually developed and the incompatibility there, or the differences that exist. And they think this is what the Harman target sounds like. But in reality, nobody actually knows what the Harman target actually sounds like until now, potentially. There are some other issues, but we'll get into that in a different video. So DCA have recognized this problem, and they've gone back to that older ear simulator with that original Welty modified custom pinna, for those who are familiar with the research. And this is what's influenced their target for the Aeon Core. There are deep concerns with the idea of tuning closed-back headphones to the Harman target, tuning any headphone to the Harman target, but this idea of moving back to the Welty pinna and using that to influence how headphones are designed and developed, particularly for the Gross systems, in my opinion, is a very good thing. Despite wanting the industry to move beyond this single line against a target paradigm, this idea of getting a Welty pinna retrofit to influence the tuning choices for the data that's available in that research, it's something I can get behind. And I think that it's resulted in a better product overall for them having done this. Personally, I'm rather encouraged by this. It's useful that they've recognized it, and I would love to see if I can get my hands on this custom modified pinna that was used in the Harman research for my own testing as well. But the question is, how does the Aeon Core actually sound? In my opinion, it's a less contrasty counterpart to the E3. So to be clear, I think they're both good headphones, but the E3 is a bit more bass and treble focused, while the Core is a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more timbrally appropriate. It's a bit more versatile for a wider range of music. And to compare the Core to the Aeon X Closed, which is closer in price, the main issue with the Aeon X Closed is that it had an exaggerated presence between 2 and 3 kilohertz that could make instrument sounds very clear and very incisive and detailed, but at the cost of vocals sounding a bit shouty and glary, and it would be a little bit fatiguing and overboard for certain types of recordings. This is really where I think the Core, being a bit more relaxed for its ear gain presentation overall, and also being a bit relaxed in the treble, shows some strengths. I do hear a bit of a forwardness at around 2.5 kilohertz, but that might just be a unique feature for its behavior on my head. And I also hear a bit of a forwardness at around 5 kilohertz, and then there's a dip at around 7 kilohertz, so it's not like this is perceptually flat or anything like that to my ear, but overall I find it to be a much more forgiving kind of sound signature, and one that I think works a lot better for a much wider range of music compared to the Aeon X Closed. And keep in mind, I haven't measured this headphone yet. I'm going to be getting one in to review fully, but for me, at least on my head, this has the kind of presentation where you can kind of just ignore the fact that you're wearing a headphone and you can just focus on the music, and it's something that I've been wanting in a closeback for a very long time. At the moment, based on my initial impressions, I would say it's probably my second favorite of the closebacks that they do. And again, a counterpart to the E3 where I think they're both good, but just for different reasons. More importantly, this is a tuning philosophy and approach that I can get behind more so than any other headphone that's tuned to the Harman target, because this one might actually be tuned to the Harman target. And so that's why I'm fascinated to get it in and check it out. But that's going to do it for this video. Again, if you want to see that full review, that should be coming here once we get the headphone in. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to what we're doing here, and we will have more information about that soon. Okay, that's going to do it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.